What's up guys? Welcome back to the Loose Fab YouTube channel. In our last video, we pulled the engine out of the Z car. That was very exciting. Feels like this build is finally underway now. In this video, we're gonna start cleaning up the engine bay, kind of deleting some stuff that we don't need anymore and getting it ready to start test fitting the new engine. If you're enjoying this build, make sure to like and subscribe, and let's get right into it. It's been super fun so far. I'm really enjoying cleaning up this engine bay. I've always wanted to make this look presentable. It's such a cool car. I'd like if the engine bay looked a little bit nicer when I popped the hood. So all of these type of things are going to be gone. All of these old mounts. There's so many little brackets and crap in here that we don't need anymore. So all of that's going to get cut out. So it's the next day. I wanted to give the garage a day to air out, make sure there's no gas, sitting on the ground or in the air or whatever. In the meantime, I started drilling out some of these brackets. I've got one here. I didn't film it very well. I went through about 10 drill bits. Getting just this off because they kept breaking. It's probably the right way to do it, but I think I'm just going to switch to cutting these off with the grinder. I was getting so frustrated using the drill, and now that I know there's no gas left in here, I'm going to start grinding these to cut them off. Engine bay is slowly getting there. This is a very, very long process. It's taking a lot more elbow grease than I expected. We got a lot of the factory kind of undercoating stuff off here. You can see up on the firewall there's still a bunch. It's really hard to get any sort of wire wheel or anything in there. I'm not going for a perfectly shaved engine bay. I'm just trying to tidy it up a little bit. So the stuff that's in behind the brake lines is gonna stay there. Some of it's gonna stay there. It's not gonna bother me. It might bother some perfectionists, but it's not going to bother me. Same with stuff like this. These little tiny tabs here. I'm not going to go through the effort of taking all those off. I probably won't even notice them once they're all painted. The engine's going to block a lot of those anyways. There's a few more down here. I'm getting kind of sick of getting completely filthy from this undercoating, so I think I'm going to switch to welding up some of these holes now. There's some cut marks here that I got to clean up as well. stuff like these holes that have threads in them, there's a bunch of them around the engine bay, I might leave them because I feel like I'll end up using those for, you know, various stuff after the swap is done, catch cans, stuff like that. So they might be handy to have, but the empty holes, we'll plug those up and grind and smooth. And we're getting pretty close to being ready to paint this bay. I'm excited. Definitely welded in. More. Okay, I think the engine bay is basically ready to be painted. It's clean enough for me to be happy with it. It's not perfect, but it's good enough for what it's going to be. I've got a little bit of gray primer on hand here, and then I've got some black spray paint. Don't know if I have enough, but I'm going to at least start and see how it turns out. I got things kind of just roughly masked off. Not the best job ever, but it's good enough. Yeah, let's get to painting. Okay, the engine bay is all cleaned up on the Z. This has been a project I've been dying to do since I got this car. I always thought the engine bay looked super cluttered, so I was very excited to be able to clean this up. It's nice seeing it without any of those brackets. Got rid of all the old crusty paint and undercoating and stuff like that, and put a fresh coat of paint on it. I think it looks fantastic. It's not perfect, but I think it looks really good for the amount of effort that I put in. So I guess our next steps are going to be test fitting the engine. If you guys are excited to see the next steps of this build, make sure to like and subscribe and stay tuned for our video next week. Thanks guys.